I'm going to try my best to record this video without yakking, but before I get into that, I want you to ask yourself just one question. Why not you? What is the one reason that you can't do the thing that you really want to do? Whatever your goal is, whether it's to get that car, to get that girl, to get that physique, to get that job, to get that business, whatever it may be. What's the one reason right now that you're unable to do that? I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. Now, this morning when I got up, I went to bed pretty late. I usually go to sleep around 3 p.m. and I get up at 11 p.m. because I work a reverse shift, because I work basically the night shift here at work. I'm just about to go in a couple minutes, but I work from about 3 to 12, depending on the day. Sometimes earlier, sometimes later. Sometimes I get off earlier, sometimes I leave later. But I work from about 3 a.m. to 12 p.m. I sleep from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. I work a backwards schedule. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but it is what it is. I'm going to do what I have to do. Now, I got up this morning a little bit later because I went to bed super late. I ended up falling asleep around like 7:30 p.m., which is late as hell if you go to bed at 3:30 p.m. normally. And I really didn't want to do anything this morning. I woke up and I kind of laid there for a minute with my alarm going off. Now, my alarm clock is blaringly loud, so it's not something that you can just ignore. You have to turn it off. But I have the choice every time that alarm clock goes off. I could turn it off and then I could fall back asleep, or I could turn it off and I could get out of bed. And once you're out of bed, there's absolutely no reason to get back into bed. Because if you're getting back into bed as soon as you get out of bed, then you're really letting yourself just fall back into the softness of your mind. But anyways, I get up and I do my usual. I go take a shower, I go eat real quick, I make my bed, and then I do my morning journaling. After all that, I'm about to go to the gym, and then I realize my headphones are dead, which sucks, so I gotta wait a few minutes. But normally, in my past, if I had one minor inconvenience to my day, that would be my reason for not going to the gym, or not doing whatever it is I had to do. Oh, my headphones are dead, can't go work out now, can't work out without music, I just gotta go straight to work, or I'm just gonna go back to bed, sleep in, or if I was going to the gym after work, I would just say, oh, headphones are dead, going straight home so I can go to sleep. And it's like, I want you to really think about that. If you're allowing one minor inconvenience to stop you from hitting your goals, are your goals even that important to you? And the truth is I know they probably are extremely important to you, but that minor inconvenience every time is just the tipping straw, the tipping stone, whatever you want to call it. It's finally pushing you over the edge. And it's like you're trying so hard to get by, but then one little thing comes up and you're like, I cannot deal with this. I just need to end this day and go sit down and do a whole lot of nothing. But here's a problem. If you let every single minor inconvenience stop you from doing whatever it is you need to do, you're never going to get there. Because on the journey to the top, there's going to be a lot more than just one minor inconvenience. There's going to be major inconveniences. And there's going to be major inconveniences after a lot of major inconveniences have hit you over and over and over again. But what determines the height of your success is how many times you can get back up after you have fallen back down. Because let me go back to what I was talking about in the beginning of this video. Now, it wasn't that long ago that I was not walking very well. I'm 22 years old, and I'd say back in, what are we in, October now? September? Whatever month we're in. About 2 or 3, 4 months ago, I was walking around with a cane. That's the point. And why was I walking with a cane? I'm still in the process of getting a diagnosis exactly, but it's either something among the lines of cauda-equina syndrome, or I've just got a disc that's popped in my lower spine. Now, that is extremely painful. Okay, I'm talking to the point where a couple months ago, if I put weight on my leg, it would just collapse. And I am not a person that cries, but the sheer pain that was coming from my lower spine was enough to almost cause me to break tears. Because it's not just how bad it hurts, but it's knowing that if I can't walk, I can't do the thing that I care the most about. I can't work on my cars. I can't drive them. I can't go to the gym. I can't take care of people. I can't do any of that. And that stuff is all extremely important to me. So what do? I use something that dulls the pain. That way it doesn't hurt as bad. Okay, and I can't say the name of that. All I can say is that it's called 7. And I might put some words that you might have to decode up here because YouTube will block it if I say the word. But basically, it's just an opioid agonist. And now what it does is it partially activates your opioid receptors. That way it doesn't hurt as bad. Okay? Now, the dose I have to take, that way I can still walk and I'm not hurting, is like I'm popping 30s all day. Now, here's the problem with that. What does that do? That makes you not want to do a whole lot of anything, okay? Now, this stuff has a very low ceiling for the euphoria effect, so it's not like I'm walking around like I'm zooted off of 30 all day. It doesn't really give you much of a high. But what it does do is it's great for pain relief. But since it is an opioid agonist, it causes symptoms when you stop taking it. So if you need to taper down your dose because it's getting too high, you're going to go through those same symptoms, and they're not fun. Your skin is crawling. You feel like you're going to throw up every time. You're constipated and you need to shit your pants at the exact same time. It's all stuff that sucks. And then not only do you feel dysphoric and unmotivated when you take it, you feel even more dismotivated and dysphoric when you don't take it. So it's like, I've got this thing that I have to rely on. That way I can still walk and do things. And I am still getting up, going to the gym, still consuming my protein, still in a caloric deficit, still doing my morning journaling, still waking up early. And the only reason I'm able to actually do that is because I've implemented systems in my life that allow me to not fall off. And if I do fall off, they pick me back up and put me back on course. Because here's the thing. So many people fear that if they do make progress and they fall off, they're going to lose it all. But if you have the proper systems put in place, it doesn't matter if you fall off, because you're going to know how to work your way back because you've done it right the first time. And you're going to be able to do it right over and over and over again. But if you're just winging it and you're just kind of doing a whole bunch of random stuff, you're not going to be able to ever get what that goal is that you want to achieve. So now let's go back to what I said earlier. What's the one reason that you can't do whatever it is that you want to do? Because not too long ago, at 22 years old, I was walking with a cane. My legs have nerve damage. They are constantly shaking because of the nerve damage. I am in constant pain 24/7. I have neuropathy in both my hands. I have cubital tunnel syndrome in both elbows and carpal tunnel in both wrists. If I do push-ups, then my wrists start hurting extremely bad after the next day. My hands go numb all the time. When I'm driving and if I squeeze my steering wheel, my hands start to go numb. If I'm laying like this on my bed on my phone, my hands go completely numb and I can't feel them. I wake up in the morning and my hands are completely numb. It's extremely painful. I drop everything that I am holding. Do you know how frustrating it is to not be able to hold something in your hand without dropping it? To not be able to pop a pimple because you can't squeeze your fingers because of how weak they are because of the nerve damage? And if I'm still doing it, why can't you? And I'm going to tell you, because the only reason that you can't do it is because you're telling yourself something that's not allowing you to do it. Because if I told myself, I have nerve damage in my legs, I can't do this, I can't do that. I have nerve damage in my hands and my arms, I can't train. My back hurts, I can't train. I'm dysphoric, I can't train. If I constantly tell myself this stuff all the time, I would never get anywhere in this life. But what does that do for me? Absolutely nothing. all that does is just will make me more and more depressed. But if I tell myself, regardless of how I feel, I can still do it, I am still going to do it, I am only going to succeed, I am only going to get closer and closer to accomplishing my goals. And I am still going to get that feeling of pride, still going to have that feeling of confidence, because I know that whatever I go through, I can still do it. I can still push through. And you can still do it. You can still push through. No matter what you're going through. I worked 62 hours last week. And I still went to the gym. I still slept enough. I still had time to post content. I still had time to see my girlfriend. What is your excuse? You can still find time. You have the time to do whatever it is that you want to do or you need to do. You're just not giving yourself the time because you're spending too much time wasting time on some bullshit. Go look at your screen time on your phone. How much is it? There's probably an immense amount of scrolling that you're doing that you really don't need to be doing. And if you don't think that all adds up, it really does. Because 30, 45 minutes of scrolling at once could be spent in the gym. Or even 30, 45 minutes of scrolling spent throughout the day spread. If you just didn't scroll, got done that you needed to get done, you would free up time to go to the gym and train. Because once you build a physique that is something to be proud of, it shows you that no matter what you go through, you can push through something and you can accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. But if you don't try, you're never going to know if you could have got there because you never tried. So what's your reason? Tell me why you can't do it. Drop it in the comments. Let me know.